Thanks a lot, Mehul, for joining us for this podcast or joining me for this podcast called Simply Connect. As everyone knows that or probably some people know that I used to do a podcast which I used to put on LinkedIn, but then I basically lost track and I left it in the middle. So now I'm thinking that why not restart it? So thanks a lot, Mehul, again for joining. And you've been you've been very kind to me, and you've been sometimes the only person who's liking my post and commenting on it, showing up for my webinars at times. So really like thankful from the bottom of my heart for showing that support. And I think as a startup that is at such an early stage, these kind of like support from people who are all around us really helps in basically keeping us motivated that at least we are doing good things.
Absolutely.
At least we are doing something which other people probably like.
Right.
Okay, so I was browsing through your LinkedIn profile to do a bit of research about you, and I figured that you've had a very interesting journey. So you started off as a sales rep. Then you moved into eZee, that you started working with eZee and you started working as a software engineer. And then it transitioned to client servicing and now B2B sales. And now you're heading basically enterprise division of these eZee technologies for B2B sales.
Absolutely.
Just wanted to know your journey with eZee and how has this transition been from starting as a software engineer to totally different role. So
So definitely, first of all, thank you so much, Sachin, for having me on this conversation. It's really, it's really a long time we are working, together and knowing together, since you are working, in the Ghost of Hostel, and now you are an entrepreneur. So yeah, definitely, I would like to congratulate you on this, for this, and really the nice idea which you are, this doing as a partner.
Thanks a lot.
So yeah, if I talk about myself, so as correctly say that, I have started my journey with eZee on 10 December 2007. So it's been 13 years. So on 10 December, I completed 13 years at eZee. And I joined eZee as a, the support executive, right? So what I was doing that time was, so it was not just a support, but we call it as a SNS, kind of a sales and support. So it's just a one person who handle all the things. So I have to sell it, and then I have to go for the implementation.
Okay.
Right. So I started with that. Then I, spending good amount of time in support. Then I become a head of the support. Then I moved to, that we form this department called a sales, actually sales team we formed. And then I was heading that. Right. So again, after, doing that some work for a few hours, then we decided that, we wanted to give a quality support to a customer, few customer to start with. That's how the project goes. So we form a new department called a key accounts team, and I was the this heading that team.
Correct.
And again, once that things was streamlined, then there was a team who can take care of themselves. So and we thought to have something new to start, like enterprise sales, that we have never tried it before, and it's a this huge opportunity, even within India only, right? So I started focusing on everything in India, and I travel in many part of the this country, like Delhi NCR. That was a top most visit, because majority of the hotel chains are they have a headquarters then only. Bangalore, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, definitely Mumbai, right? So I visited many places, and yeah, so and because of this pandemic now, there is no traveling since many months now, and I'm just now waiting that this we can start traveling, so I can start meeting few other people, right? And so I was even expecting, in January every year, the Satay happens,
yes.
that is a one of the biggest.
In how do you know? Pragati Maidan, right?
it was happening in Pragati Maidan, but it is now, from last 2 years, it's happening in this Greater Noida.
Okay.
Right. So it's happening there. Right. So I was director, but now again, this year it won't be possible. But yeah, so if you see that this is in nutshell, this is my journey with eZee, how I started now, what I'm doing right now.
Got it.
But yeah, it's really amazing and enjoying, a daily to how do that. And still I make a call myself to the prospect if they are looking for any software. And I really enjoy what I'm doing.
So you're a true salesperson.
You can say I'm more of not a salesperson, but I always consider, the support guy that always helped me. The product knowledge which I gain, right, that actually helped me. So actually, I'm from this commerce background, right, and nothing know about the sales, right. Whatever I have learned, I can say I have learned the product that well. So right now, also, if I have to give a training to any of the customer, I will be in position to do that. So that plays a very important role, right? And the sales is all about, the communication, right? And you will agree with me that everyone, has a good communication skill. We do not even require, the best communication. Good is fine. As far as, you and me can talk like this, it's more than enough, right? We do not have
to so able to communicate.
Absolutely, right? You understand me, I understand you. That's more than enough, right?
Yes. So a really interesting thing that you pointed out, and that is you are saying that your strength, or you are saying that you identify yourself more as a support guy, person who has a very in-depth understanding of the product, right? So basically, that's like you think that is one of the main reasons why you've been able to grow so fast and to where you are in the organization?
You can say that, right? So right now also to all my team members also, I do the same team. And in fact, we conduct a regular session. Let's say every Saturday we conduct a session where we talk about the product only, right? That what all things, are, coming on a day-to-day basis, plus what we are planning, right? So that's one. And I'm really, interested to know that, what's new coming in. So I know that what I can go to my, these people to whom I can pitch in that, yeah, I have this, right? So let's say right now, the buzzword in the, everywhere is like a contactless thing, whether it's a contactless check-in in hotel or a contactless menu in restaurant. So it's all about that thing, right? So there are many things. So product plays a very important role, because see, if you know the product well, right, then it's become very easy for you. If anyone asks you, okay, how to do that thing, you know the answer, right? Normally in sales, people focus on sales, right? And many people, make a false promises also, which is really not good in sales. If you have it, say yes. If you do not have it, say no. If you do not know, say that I do not know the answer of this. I will, check it out and will let you know that. So there is nothing wrong in it. It's possible. So right now also, I don't know 100% of my all the products. It's possible, right? Being a human, it's not possible. But if you do not know certain answer, you can always check and get back to. And the people will respect instead of giving a wrong answer or the false promises. Many times, must have heard that, okay, yes, you will get it. But post sale, then, actually reality starts, then it creates a lot of problem. And that leads to the dissatisfaction, right? And that's your negative, the review from the customer. So yeah, I always believe in the product side of it. If your product knowledge is really good, then, you can sell like anything.
So I very recently got into B2B sales, and I realized that it's almost 10x tougher to do B2B than B2C, because you have to do B2C, you have to figure out which set of audiences will work for you, and you can run ads and sort of keep the pipeline going. But when you have to do B2B, and when it's a business owner who's looking at your product, he's looking at it critically, and he's looking at it in a very, so he needs a perfect product, a perfect solution to the problem that he's facing. There. But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes in desperation, and at least it happened with me, and I'm being honest, when I've met 50 people or 30 people and none of them are interested to buy it at this point in time because they don't have the money or pandemic has happened, whatever the reason is.
Correct.
Sometimes in desperation, you tend to overcome it. And that has happened with me. Right. But then you obviously, like you said, that you regret it later because then the customer is not happy at a later point in time and then he goes out
Absolutely.
and bad mouths you.
Right.
So I'm trying to do that and I'm trying to learn that. And sometimes what happens is that in the heat of the moment or when the call is going on, it's a big client, you've thought so much about it that sometimes it can go out of hand and you can sort of make promises which you might not be able to commit.
Right.
But that gets better with the practice and experience.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So, all right. So moving on, you moved from, you worked as a software engineer, you worked as a sales rep, you moved on to become head of support, head of B2B. Now you're doing B2B enterprise sales for eZee Technosys. I wanted to know what are the key learnings and how is this experience of doing B2B sales for eZee Technosys, and is there any secret that anyone who's a budding person who wants to get into sales and especially B2B sales can sort of
yeah. Right. Okay, so if I talk specially about eZee, so it's always about B2B sales, right? We do not have anything for the B2C because it is like the software solution for the hotels and this F&B businesses, right? So it's always a B2B. We are into this B2B only, right? But B2B, we have to understand one thing. It's very simple that, if you talk about B2C, so it's possible that the person is ready to buy it right away. But when we talk about the business application, right, person is not going to decide right away that, okay, I saw these products right now, or let's say I have this mind, okay, I need a hotel management software, for example. So that person will start Google the things and everything, but it's not that person will decide and write then and will buy it, right? So it doesn't, so let's say if I want to buy a phone, then, I know that what kind of phone I'm looking, I will go, on this e-commerce website, I will go there, I will look at it and I will buy it. But business application doesn't work like that, right? So very first thing, if anyone tell you that, okay, I want to buy right now only, or let's say I will buy today only, what base you can give me? So never get excited to that, right? Always, keep your excitement, on hold, right? And just say that I'm really happy to see that you would like to buy it right now only. I will be more than happy to do that. But let us see the product, right? See, if it is something which you have to decide without seeing the product, right, you are not, it will create a problem at later side, right? When anyone asks me that, tell me the pricing I want to buy, normally I do not share the price. Or if I have to share it, I share it depends, right? It depends means then let that person ask that what that person, why it depends, what all things are included in that, right? And I always recommend, please come online, have a demo with me, you look at the product, right? Because you don't know what a person is looking for, what kind of a thing is this, right? Many a time, one very, one common problem I always face that hostel segment, they download our software, right? So hostel segment, what we are dealing is a backpacking hostel. And not that, student hostel. Many times we get that inquiry. Once I say that, I ask what kind of hostel, you say there's a student hostel. I simply say, sorry, our software will not work for you. It's not designed for you. So I cannot offer you. It's not that I want to make some money, so I will get it, because it is not designed for that purpose, right? So you should know your target audience, as you say that, to whom you are meeting, right? So let's say if I talk about eZee, so our target audience is 3-star and below property, is more of an independent and the smaller groups, right? So we know that. So we only talk about that only. We do not talk, like 4-star, 5-star property. Doesn't mean that software doesn't work, it works, but we know that, right? So the same goes for your product also. You know that what is your target audience, right? So for B2B, it's very important. You should know your, the buyers, right? The first. right? Then definitely, and the sales cycle that can be from 30 days to 90 days. And if I talk about the enterprise sales, it can be 2 years, 3 years, you never know. Because if we talk about the enterprise sales, mean they have a large organization. So let's say someone may have a 5 hotels, 10 hotels, they are already earning some solution. It's not possible for them to change it overnight.
Yes,
They
because
may
they
start
need to
with
train
one,
again and all.
slowly. Right. So that becomes very important. So sales cycle will be really longer in enterprise sales if I talk about, but B2B, like if we talk about one-on-one customer, that can be again still from 30 days to 19 days, right? Or it can be, so it depends on again the different, the businesses, but normally it takes time. And yes, if you are getting 100 inquiries, you are not going to convert all of them as a customer. So the normal industry conversation rate in overall all the industry, that's somewhere in the range of 2 to 4% or 2 to 5%. It depends, right? So that's the thing. And never, so it is, if any viewers will watching this, so they must be knowing that salespeople never get excited that if person is going to buy today itself, that person is just trying to play with you, that they know that all the salesperson has a sales quota to achieve.
Correct.
They are just playing with your mind that okay, if I tell him I will get a base rate, right? So never ever do that. You should show the value, right? Don't just say that. So you show the value. Sometimes you may have to let the customer go, right? So let's say if someone asks me that give me the software 500 rupees, I will say, boss, sorry, I can't give you because this is not the quality what we provide. If you need a quality things, we are here. But definitely I can't, just to get one customer I cannot do that, because the same customer tomorrow will speak to someone else, they will request for the same price, third person then becomes a whole. So it is like that. Do, if you know the customer well, give the quality thing, and definitely it is going to work. They will like it and they will see that value, right? So that's the reason the conversion rate, it is always between 2 to 5% based on that industry. So that is, it's like a B2B thing, right? So that is very important for every salesperson.
Got it. So what I can understand is it's very important, even if you're doing sales, don't just look at your targets, also look at who you're getting on board. It's important to understand your customer really well. And it's also important to know that you are actually solving their problem or not. And you're not, basically they are buying a product out of my pitch. If they're just buying it right away, there is definitely something wrong. Take them through the entire product, make them satisfied, be sure that they want exactly the same thing, and then go ahead and do it. That I understand. So yeah, that's a very valuable point, and I can actually, whatever you are saying, I can totally see it happening in action, because that's what I'm doing at all points of time. And I haven't had that kind of that much of experience in B2B sales. There are all these things are new, all these tactics, these things are quite new, and psychologically, business psychology, sales psychology, all that I'm learning. So that's what I Google at all points. Anyway, so moving on. All right. So when I was working with Ghost Ops and Pankaj Pallavi, who are the co-founders of the company, and myself as well, and my sales team that was there, and the marketing team, everyone, and the central team, everyone, was really happy with the support that eZee provided. Okay, at all points of time, we were like, eZee is the best company that we work with in terms of support. And whatever problems we have, when we talk to them, we figure out a way to resolve it. If not, we can't do it immediately. It gets done eventually, and we get clarity on when it will be done. And that kind of clear communication used to happen, clear expectation setting used to happen, and the overall support was really good. So just wanted to know as to what do you think, since you started this, you were among the initial, if not the first person, among the initial people to start this. What do you think, how did you develop this support-centric, customer-centric culture at eZee? And how can other companies, especially startups like us learn from that?
So I would say that really, good question that I always come across, this question that, how it is possible. But yeah, this is, I would say this one of the key thing, okay, or let's say the pillar of eZee, that we from beginning only, our founder, Hitesh and Vipul, that's where it started when they started a company, right? And if you see that the industry which we are working itself demand that kind of thing, because hotels work 24/7, so we have to make that available, and we have a customer based in 160 countries with 24,000 customers globally, right? So it means that we are dealing in the country in India time zone, and as well as like the Latin America, like America, Canada, it's completely different time zone, right? So from beginning, we are offering a 24/7 support. So that's the one of the biggest, the thing at eZee, and the all the customer like is we have a 24/7, and that too with a real human interaction. It's not a chatbot, right?
Yeah.
So that's what, and we wanted to build that culture like that. If let's say, and as we talk this about, this is the B2B, right? So even the software is down or something is not working, it means your whole business is down. Your business is down, your operation is stuck, right? So that's why we thought that okay, it's possible. Everything we can't control, but let's say something goes wrong, someone should be there to assist you in that. Correct. And that's what people like the most about eZee, and even people search on Google and check the reviews on let's say a website like Capterra, or the G2 or everywhere. People mostly talking about the support only, and that's the biggest strength of eZee, right? And at eZee, our support team is in the size is as good as the developer, right? They start their seats from morning 7 o'clock, then 8, 9, 10 people will keep coming, going, keep coming, and that's why we make this 24/7, in a real sense, whether it is a weekend or a public holiday, Diwali, Eid, Christmas, anything, we will be there to assist them. And that's what the customer looks for. That sometimes it even happened that customer might have gone with any other software. They were kind of easy, but they went somewhere because they found that okay, I'm going to save some money. But what happened, post sales support, they face a lot of issues. That is, what you are saving and what you are going to lose make a lot of difference. And then they switch back to eZee as soon as they realize that. And we have those customer working is first from last so many years, right? I have one of the customer in Visakhapatnam, right? That guy is using our software from last 12 years, right? If I talk about the ghost of itself, we started with the one property, and now see that how they have grown. And for me, I never, even if in sales, I never leave my client, like that. I just say that wherever you stuck, if you are not getting a hold of customer, I'm there. I'm your point of contact. Just go give me a call anytime, right? So they know that okay, if someone won't be there, I will be there, to assist them. So that's what the culture actually started from beginning by the founders itself. And we try to carry forward it, all the new people joining it eZee, whether it is a developer or a software person or a sales. That's what we do not want to leave their hand, that, right? So that makes the very strong, and that's how it started. So this industry demands that, right? So, and we thought, so that makes the difference.
Got it. So I'll just extend this argument, and I think so I'll just extend this argument, and there are other players who are there in the industry, like there are OTAs who are serving the hotels, there are other kinds of suppliers who are serving hotels, and then there is a property management system provider at this, like you guys provide an entire suite now. But so basically you guys are also serving them. The difference between you guys and them, or like any OTA for that matter, OTA also provide you a key account manager to
right
talk to us. The what do I say? The turnaround time of eZee in most of the times is much better than compared to any of the OTAs, because even OTAs are doing the same thing. They are serving hotels and they are making like probably a lot of revenue as well. Like an OTA like Booking.com, GoIBibo is making a lot of revenue as well. They can afford to have that kind of a support centric culture. The point that I'm trying to make is that you are downplaying eZee support by saying being very modest about it, but I think it is the most unparalleled support that I've received, at least while I have been working in hospitality. And I've used a lot of tools. I've used different kinds of CRM tools. I've used different kinds of reputation management tools. I've used different kinds of all the different kinds of tools. But again, this is something that really makes me a big fan of eZee. And in fact, when we talk internally within our team as well, I have multiple times I've given this example and I've talked about this. So it's a commendable job that you guys have done, definitely. So moving on, I think this will be one of the last questions. If I could find any tangent out of this, then we'll probably dive into that. But moving forward, after pandemic, a lot of things have changed. Hotels are now thankfully getting back, not metro hotels, but at least locations around the metros are now seeing traffic. So more like at least there is something happening there. How do you think can technology play a role in basically helping hoteliers post the pandemic, like in this period? How can hoteliers, what kind of technologies can hoteliers adopt to sort of tackle this situation at this point in time?
Right. So that this is a very important thing, right? Just not, because of this pandemic, or whether it is a pandemic is, is there or not, right? But yes, especially, now we have seen this pandemic. So people have started realizing or already realized that if they had this technology available to them, right? What could have they have realized? Just think that yesterday only I was checking my Twitter and I found one of the posts that that just feel lucky that you are in this in this generation. Just think that what could have happened that time you are using this Nokia phone, right? How many people would have gone out of the business, or let's say this there's a what would the unemployment rate that time? Right now we are having all this internet thing and all those things, so we can work from home, right? So all these 8 months, what all we have done, and right now many people are still working from work from home, right? And many startups are how they are working, they may take the co-working space and all, they will go and they will work from home. Just think that. So we are so lucky to have it, and just because of the technology thing, right? The internet and technology thing like Zoom and this Google Meet and Skype and all those things, it's available. It's so real. It feels right now. So when we talk, we can just say that we are in front of each other, right? Like we are meeting in person, right? So same like that, the technology is playing and is going to play a very important role in the hospitality industry. So I would like to start with this contactless thing, right? So as you see that now everyone say that, okay, you have this contactless check-in. Can we do this contactless check-in? Can we do this, contactless menu ordering and all those stuff online? Previously also it was there, but people say that no, our users are not that much this knowledgeable, or our guests are not that kind of thing. They will do that, but now they are saying that I need we need this, right? So in this also we are offering this since last couple of years already, this functionality, and many of the customers were using that, so they did not have any issues, right? And many customers now after opted that okay, I want to start using that, right? So there was no stopping point. It saves a lot of time, effort, and space. One thing will be very important: you can increase your user experience, right? It will help you.
So you're talking about right? End-to-end touchless experience of a hotel, end-to-end, right?
Absolutely. This is only possible as a technology. So let's say normally how the things will happen, right? So let's say I would like to book my stay in Goa hotel. So what I will do is I will go on OTA. I will Google it. Right. I will search that, okay, hotel in Goa, or let's say hotel in North, this North Goa, South Goa, based on what I'm preferring. I will find it out the best deal for me, whether, from the direct hotel website, or the OTA. I will book with them, right? Once it book, then it comes to that booking goes to, channel manager process to the PMS. The PMS send an email to the guest that, okay, this is your, the login portal, guest login portal, where you can log in. You can update your own profile, upload the ID, photo, you can sign it, you can pay, you can view the bill, you can request for a check-in, you can request for a pickup, drop-off. So it all becomes, right. And once all these thing is done, and at the time of checkout, they can request for a checkout, and they just check that out, and it's done. In the meanwhile, there are so many other things which the things plays a role, like Portnet is doing, right, like the energy saving and all. So what can be done is that the further is that once the guest checks in, it automatically, as soon as they enter the room, it turn on the electricity. Right, it adjusts the temperature in the room accordingly, right? Their television, or let's say there's Alexa, Google Home, or all these things can be there, which you just do that. Guests can order, let's say they can do that, okay, I need, let's say, this extra towel, or and any other things, amenities they need, they can do from mobile, right? So there are many things. This is only possible if you have the technology. And one very important thing, there is hospitality industry is one of this very badly affected industry, everyone knows, right? So as we know that there is people are struggling with this revenue, so only one thing which is possible is a cost saving, right? Because you are not going to make more money, but the lower your expenses, you can cut down your certain expenses, or you manage it. Right. So how it is possible with technology? It is only possible where, let's say, currently one person, or let's say 5 people working on certain things. By having a technology in place, at least if you can reduce, one person for that, right? We are not saying that do that, because that person also need a, the job to do, right? But you can utilize that person somewhere else, right? With the more productive, the things like the guest experience. Correct. Use that instead of that way. Correct. Right, where so that's what you are also trying to solve that problem, right? Because electricity is really big. Before, like you see, like 5 years, 10 years back, it was just one switch, right? In hotel, where many times what happened, they just keep the things on, they might forget and everything, and then there is no one to take care of. There is a lot of this waste of electricity. Correct. That's where you have thought that, okay, this is a problem. After that, there was one more switch introduced where you have to insert that, this plastic or this metal kind of, this keychain, where, if you pull out, then only your key will come out, right? And then it will turn off, electricity. Then it took a place of this electronic, this key card, where you just put that, right? Now, the system like yours and many, the system that supports that based on the occupancy, right? So once you enter the room, it will detect that, and accordingly it will do, then it will adjust the, this temperature and everything accordingly, right? So you see that how drastically thing has changed.
So my point on this is that, so like you said, that these technologies always existed, and hoteliers for some reason did not want to go for it. They did not make business sense to them, or they were not so far-sighted. I don't know what the reason is.
Right.
But now the thing is that because of all this situation that has happened, it has pushed hoteliers to think about an end-to-end touchless experience. Otherwise,
exactly.
We used to read it only on hospitality news that some hotel in Japan has this end-to-end touchless experience, or hotel in Amsterdam has this end-to-end touchless experience. But in India, normal hoteliers could only dream about it. Like,
true.
Yes, it was possible to get it assembled and figure out vendors and get it done, but it was not easy to sort of
It
find
is
it
a lot of time, efforts, energy, money to get it done.
correct.
Right.
And
I
now it
agree
has
with
become
you.
a necessity. So I think that is one of the main reasons why at this point in time this thing is the demand for these kind of solutions is increasing. And definitely
Right.
you guys are in this, and your end-to-end touchless experience. I think I had the webinar that I had with Mr. Ejaz. In that, he had introduced that entire concept. So for
Correct.
those who do not know like about that webinar, you can check out my YouTube channel. I think the link is there. I'll share the link in the description so you guys can have a look as well. On a closing note, uh, I would say that uh, there is a lot, like I'm just speaking personally, and like there is a lot that I can learn from you because of the vast experience that you have had. And I'm sure that a lot of other people who are especially getting into B2B can definitely learn, and people who have not started, because I am a very rookie in this at this point in time. I've had probably 60 to 100 meetings as of now, but people
Right.
who have just started out, it's very, all I would say is, as of my experience till this point in time, it's very easy to sort of get demotivated, because obviously you won't be very good at something when you just start out. But again, it's a matter of
Right.
practice and how fast can you learn from the mistakes that you're making, and critically analyze yourself. Don't doubt yourself. It's okay if you're fumbling in meetings. It's okay if you're going blank sometimes, but that's
Right.
that's part of the process, is what I think.
Absolutely. See, because why that happens, that you are not scripted,
Hmm.
right? If you are scripted, then it's like this play. You play it, it will start spelling ABC like this and all these things. But
Correct.
when you are natural, like the things come naturally, it
Hmm.
is bound to happen. So there is nothing to worry about it. And,
Hmm.
and as I say that the sales is nothing, but one thing I would like to say is a very straightforward thing. In sales, never try to sell. It sounds really this weird, but that's the thing. The more you push, the more that that
That
can go away. Just give it time. Just give it time. Yeah. But at the same time, one very important thing, which is I am this well known for, it's called a follow up. Sales is all about follow up. If you are, let's say, meeting one person right now and then you forgot, then it's possible that you are losing that opportunity. So you have to keep following that person, right? And this, my team at eZee, they have given a name called as follow up ninja for that, right? So that is what I am known for.
okay.
So doesn't matter, it is not just a sale also, but for the support also. Sometime, let's say, if I get an email from a customer that I need this, or let's say I have a problem. So when I reply, so for that email also, I keep a reminder. If that person doesn't reply me, then I take a follow up for that, not just for the sales, but it applies for the support also. And
Got
that's, again, for our whole support team, that
it.
we just would like to make sure that what customer, came to us, right? Let's say with the problem or the query, it is well resolved and they understood it and they got this answer they were looking for, or the correct answer, right? So follow up plays a very important role. Let's say, if you meet me today, yeah, and if you do not follow up me that, oh, hey man, we met and we discussed about this solution, anything came in your mind, right? If you do not do that, then you lost that. So you have to, so you need a system where you can record all these things, you can follow. So if you're using a CRM system, then there must be kind of a follow-up option in there. If you are using your Gmail, so it's like email client, then Outlook has that feature, Gmail has that feature to snooze your email or to set a reminder for that. So you do not even have to remember, you do not have to write it down on pen and paper. You use, again, you have a technology, use that technology, right? That's what I do, and that's what I'm based on. And that's the follow up is the most important thing. Even if you Google it, you will find it out that normally people give up after 2, 3, 4 follow up. But the sales which normally happen, it happens after those follow-up, 5, 6, 7 follow-ups. So I personally send somewhere around 6 to 7 follow-ups, either on email or a call.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my question. How many follow-ups is like an ideal number? But yeah.
Right. So it depends. So again, that depends that how frequently you use. You do not have to take it every day. Otherwise, you will frustrate that person. That should be, this gap between this number of days on that. In fact, I posted somewhere around 12 to 13 different sales tips on my LinkedIn profiles, and anyone is interested, they can go for it. Very basic, nothing, the spans is very basic. You can just follow that, and that will be more than enough, right? And definitely, I will be more than happy to discuss with you, and even if you want me to conduct, guide your team on, all these things, I'll be more than happy to do that. And anyone, who's watching this video, if they need any help, anytime they can contact me, on this LinkedIn, they can send a request. I'll be more than happy to do that.
Yeah, so that was like you spoke like a true. What do you call people who work in eZee? Is there like a name, eZeeites or eZee?
So yeah, we call you as the eZeeites. Yeah, so that's what And I personally feel that see, I have a knowledge, right? I would like to share it. If I just keep everything with me, I'm not going to learn it. Right. I will tell something to you. I'm learning something from you. So it's all, this is how it works. It's like always a give and take. It's not always a one-way communication. And if you have your own knowledge, no one is going to steal you. So if you are learning something, spread it within your team, within your network, and help the people. Anyone is going to get a help out of it. You will feel that, okay, I was a word for that person. Right. So that kind of thing. So yeah, that's very important.
So on that note, I think Mehul, we should wrap it up, and I think we have to do it till 5. I think it's almost 5, and we've had a very rich conversation. And I hope that everyone who's watching this video will derive a lot of value out of this. And in case you are interested to get in touch with me, or you want to get in touch with Mehul, I'll post both. Like, I'll be posting this video on my handle, like my LinkedIn handle, so you can obviously get in touch with me. For Mehul, I'll tag him, so you can just go to his profile, get in touch with him, and network. All right. So thanks a lot, Mehul, again for showing up.
Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure talking to you, Sachin, and would like to have this conversation once again someday, but maybe on a different topic or anything random topic. Once again, thanks a lot for inviting me. It's a pleasure to talking to you, Sachin.